Hello everybody, what's up? Well, this is the crash course for GATE 2021 and this is the fourth lecture of the physical chemistry lecture series, and over here we are going to discuss about the basic quantum chemistry, and today's topic is commutator. Obviously this is the second part. Okay, there is a second part of the commutator. In this lecture we will solve different previous year's questions and we will look into some properties of the commutators. Now point is that some basic points about the commutators and some examples I have already covered in my previous lecture. So if you haven't watched that and just start watching this lecture, then my recommendation is that please watch that, because that will be helpful to you whenever you are going to learn about some topic. Like over here you are going to learn about commutator, so it is very important to watch all the videos sequentially so that it will be much helpful to you, and obviously it will be understandable to you as well, because some of the examples I have already covered in my previous class. Now over here you will see the application of those points or those simple tricks or tips. So if you haven't watched that and just start watching this, so this video will not be completely helpful to you. So my strong recommendation is that please watch that video. I have put the link on the description box, and you can find the link on the I button as well. So there you will watch the first video on the commutator, then please come to this lecture. Okay, so over here we are going to solve a lot of previous year's questions, but before going to solve that, let's just discuss about some of the properties of the commutators. Now you know that commutators are nothing but operated over the operators. Okay, so in this case these all are nothing but the operators. This a, b, okay, a, b, c, these all are operators. You know that operators are commonly denoted as this cap, but over here you know that since commutator is only applied over operators, so if we do not use that cap, then also it is understandable to you that it is nothing but the operators. Okay, now over here we are going to discuss about these commutators. Now the first one, I have already showed you the first formula with an example, and that was very much helpful. This will be frequently applied to your questions. So if commutator A and B is written, then it can be written as minus of commutator B and A. Now you can see that if commutator A and B represents AB minus BA and commutator BA represents BA minus AB, then you can easily say that if we take a minus common, so it is basically the commutator B comma A. Okay, so this is the first point which we need to remember. Second one is that if there are three operators, one is A, another two is B and C, and B and C are multiplied with each other. So what we will do, first we will just take the commutator of first two, so AB commutator and C will be outside, and then we will take AC where B will be outside. So it is written in this form only. Now if we take a look at this expression over here, operator A and B are multiplied to each other and it is commuted to C. So it can be written in this form. That means first take AC commutator and B is outside, AC commutator, B is outside, then take BC commutator and A outside. Okay, in this way you can write it. Similar way you can write this expression in this way. So A plus B commit to C, then you can see that it is AC, in between there is plus, so there will be plus sign, and then BC. If there is negative sign, then also you can see that it is AC, then there is a negative sign, so just show the negative sign, and then BC. Over here what you can see that first take AB commutator, then there will be positive sign which is nothing but this one, then AC. Now over here this small c is nothing but a constant. This small c is constant. So if the constant term is multiplied to either of the operator, then you can just take this constant out and write down the rest of the commutator. So over here what we are doing, we are just taking the constant outside the commutator and then we determine the value of the commutator. Now if any operator is in the commutation with any constant, so that will always give you the value 0. And if any operator is commutated with its function, suppose I am taking the commutator value of x and x square. Okay, now x is commutated to x square. X square is nothing but a function of x, so it will always have the value of 0. Okay, so in this way what we can say that y commutated to y cube by 5, suppose. So over here what you can see that it is y cube into 1 by 5. So over here you can see that it's just a constant, so you will just take it out. So it is 1 by 5 y commute to y cube. Now y cube is nothing but the function of y, so you can say that it is nothing but 0. So overall the commutator value has 0 value. In this way you can think like that. Clear? Okay, so you can take the screenshot of these properties, and now we are going to move on to our previous year's question solving. So this is the first question. So this question is asked on June 2015. Now point is that how to approach this kind of questions. So over here a commutator, and inside that commutator value there is another commutator. So first our task is to determine the commutation of xpx, and whatever the value we get we will put it here, and then we will find out the commutation of that value with x. Okay, now this px can be written in the form of minus I h cross d dx. Okay, now minus I h cross is nothing but the constant which will come out following this formula, this one. So it will be minus I h cross x of d dx. Now minus I h cross x d dx, I can write it minus of d dx x by applying this first formula. AB, commutation AB is nothing but minus of dA. So over here minus minus plus I h cross, and it will be d dx of x. In my previous class I said that if d dx is commuted to some function of x, you can say that we will only take the derivative of it, and that will be the value of the commutation. So it will be nx n minus 1. Now nx n minus 1 is nothing but the derivative of x. So over here what we are doing, we are just get the derivative of this one. So d dx of x is just 1, so it has a value of I h cross. Now don't mark I h cross, because over here x is there, another commutation. So this value xpx has a value of I h cross. So what I can see that this xpx has a value of I h cross. Now your new commutator is nothing but of x I h cross. Now I h cross is nothing but a constant. Now if any operator is in the commutation with some constant, then the value will be 0. So it has a value 0. So option number D will be your correct answer. Okay, now moving on to this one. So this is to some extent lengthy question, but if you follow step by step it will be much easy for you. It has been asked in June 2013. Okay, now let's discuss the value of x p square. This p is nothing but px, so x px square. Okay, what is the value of this one? So I can say that if any power is there, so I have already discussed it in my previous lecture. So if a b to the power n, this kind of commutation is there, so I can write it in the form of n b to the power n minus 1 a b commutation. So likewise I can say that it is 2 into px to the power 2 minus 1 x px. Okay, now it will be 2 px, and the value of x px I have already discussed. The value of x px is nothing but I h cross, so I'm just putting it over here, I h cross. So it is nothing but 2 I h cross px. Now it is the value of this one. So instead of this one you can write 2 I h cross px. So by writing this way, I'm just Now by writing this way, I am just taking this expression over here, a commutator x, and over here x p square is nothing but 2i h cross px. Okay, now this 2i h cross is constant. Now I am taking it outside, so it will be 2i h cross x px. So overall the value will be 2i h cross, and x px has a value of again I h cross. Okay, x px has a value of I h cross, so it will be 2 I square h cross square. So I square is nothing but minus 1, so 2 into minus 1 h cross square. So it will be minus 2 h cross square. So this commutation has a value of minus 2 h cross square. Now my task is that which of the commutation value will give this value. So that will match with the option. So just erasing all of these parts. Now taking the first option, okay, taking the first option, it is written that it is px and xpx. Xpx has a value of I h cross, so I'm just saying it I h cross. Now over here these are two operators, but over here it's a constant. So when operators are commutated with the constant, it will have a value of 0. So this option A will have the value of 0. So it doesn't match with this minus 2 h cross square. So option A cannot be your answer. Okay, fine. So now let's check option B. Now for option B, this xpx has a value of I h cross. Again it's a constant, and now there is xp, these two are nothing but the operator. So operator commutation with the constant will have the value of 0. So this B cannot be your answer. Now let's take option number D. So over here, first determine the value of x square p. So it can be written in this way. So a to the power n b can be written n a to the power n minus 1. Okay, and then ab. So I'm just doing that. So whenever you will solve x square px, so just take 2x to the power 2 minus 1, and now x px. Now x px has a value of I h cross, so what you can say that it is 2x I h cross. Okay, 2x I h cross, 2x I h cross. So if you put it over here, so it will be x 2x I h cross. So now this 2 I h cross is a constant, taking it outside the commutation. 2 I h cross is nothing but x commuted x, so it will have a value of 0. So this D cannot be your answer. Now checking the option number C. So for option number C, what I can see that this x square p has a commutation value of this one, 2x I h cross. Okay, this one has a value of 2x I h cross. We just determined it. We just determined it over here. Okay, now if there is this p, which is basically the px, this will be x. So px commutation with the 2x I h cross. So what is the value of this one? So I can say that just taking this 2 I h cross, these are constant outside the commutation, so it will be 2 I h cross px x. Okay, now x px, what is the commutation value of x px? Did you remember? X px has a commutation value of I h cross. Okay, so what is the value of pxx? Pxx has a value of minus xpx. So this is a value of pxx commutator. So this has a value of minus I h cross. When it has a value of minus I h cross, just put it over here, 2 I h cross into minus I h cross. So it will be minus of 2 I square h cross square. So this overall commutation has a value of minus 2i square h cross square. Now don't forget about this negative sign. There will be negative of negative this one, so negative negative there will be positive, so positive 2i square h square. So now 2i square is nothing but the value of minus 1, so it will be h cross, so minus 2h cross square. So your option number C will be your correct option. Now once we already ruled out option number A, B and D, so it was much easier for you to understand that option number C will be your answer. Now why did I calculate these lengthy calculations? Because this will be much helpful for your understanding purpose. So this question is a lengthy question, but if you follow step by step, then it will be much easier for you. The determination of the commutation is very much easy. Just focus on these simple steps and just apply it to your question. Now this is pretty easy question. This is x cube px. Okay, the commutation of x cube px. Now x cube, this can be just written in this form. So a to the power n b, which is basically n, a to the power n minus 1, a commute b. So in this way I can say that it is 3. So it is 3 x to the power 3 minus 1 x px. Okay, in this way I can write. So it will be 3x square x px. Now x px has a value of I h cross. So just putting it over here. So it will have a value of 3x square I h cross. Now over here there is no h cross in the answer. So just write down h cross as h by 2 pi. So it is basically 3x square I h by 2 pi. So it is basically 3i h x square by 2 pi. So 3i h x square by 2 pi. Now there is no option that matches with this one. So what we can say that in every option I is in the denominator. Okay, this is one hint. So I am just multiplying I in both denominator and numerator. So in the numerator what we can find that it is nothing but 3i square hx square divided by 2 pi I. Now I square has a value of minus 1. So it is nothing but minus 3 hx square by 2 pi I. Okay. So minus 3 x square by 2 pi I. So option number A is your correct answer. Clear? Okay. Now this has been asked in GATE 2018 and it's one of the most important question. Okay, now looking at this, there are two operators. One is a plus operator, another is a minus operator. Now a plus operator is the linear combination of this one, x and px operator, and it is also a linear combination of this one. So I'm just writing it over here. A plus operator is 1 by root 2 x plus I px. Okay, and a minus, I'm not showing the operator sign cap over here for my simplicity. So it is x minus I px. Okay, so this is the case of the two operators. So now what I can say that this commutator, if I take the commutator value, that means a plus and a minus. Okay, what I can see that it is nothing but of our 1 by root 2 x plus I px, and it is 1 by root 2 x minus I px. Okay, fine. So in this case what we can see that this 1 by root 2 are nothing but the constant. So I'm just taking outside. So this is one constant goes outside, this is another constant. So it is 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into and inside the commutator x plus I px and x minus I px. Okay. Okay, so what it is nothing but half x plus I px and x minus I px. So from here what we can see that let's just determine the value of this part, and there will be only half with it. So let's discuss the value of this one, x plus I px commute to x minus ipx. Okay, so this is nothing but we can think that if I see that a plus b operator is commute with a minus b operator, so I can say it is nothing but a commutator a, then there will be a positive sign, so now b commutator a, just as your multiplication rule. Now there will be negative sign, so it will be a commutator b, and there will be plus minus negative sign, b commutator b. Okay, so applying this formula, what I can say that a commutator a is 0, b commutator b is 0, so it is nothing but your b commutator a minus of a commutator b. Now minus of a commutator b is nothing but your b commutator a, so this is another b commutator a, so it is nothing but of 2 b commutator a. Clear? So now in this case, what I can say that just ignoring this constant, so just take this as a and this as b, so it is nothing but in the form of ab and a plus b and a minus b commutator. So this has a expression of 2 commutator of ba. You can write it in this way. So over here b is nothing but your I px and a is nothing but your x. Clear? Now this part, this commutator part has a value of this one, 2 commutator I px x. So here I can write half into 2 commutator I px x. Now 2 cancel out, so it has a value of I px x. Clear? So what I can say that overall commutator value has a value of I px x. Okay, this value I am writing it over here. Now in this case, what I can see that I is a constant. Okay, now taking it outside the commutation, so it will be pxx. Pxx, what is the value of pxx? Now if you remember that the value of xpx was ih cross, so value of pxx will be of minus ih cross. So pxx has a value of minus ih cross, so it is basically minus I square h cross. So I square has a value of minus 1, so it is minus of minus 1 h cross, which is basically your h cross. So your answer is option number C, h cross. Clear? So it's to some extent lengthy calculation, but if you follow it step by step, it is much easier for you to understand. Clear? Fine. Now it says that if AB are fully commutated with each other, that means the commutation value of AB is 0 and commutation value of AC is 0, then which of the following condition is necessarily holds? So A, B, C are nothing but operators. So what I can say that if AB is 0 and AC is 0, then that doesn't mean that BC will also have the commutator value 0. So there is no direct relation that can be concluded from this two expression. Now let's take this one. So for this one, it is in this form A, B, C. So just take first two. So A commutator B, C outside, plus then take these two, A and C, and taking B outside. So A and C. Now it says that AB commute to each other. So AB has a value of 0. So it will be C, 0 into C, and AC is A commute to each other. So AC will be 0 into B. So it will be 0, overall 0. So this condition actually implies with our statement. Okay. Now over here, this is your correct answer. It says that if the commutator of the kinetic energy operator Tx, and what is the relation between that? So Px. Now over here I said one thing, that kinetic energy is nothing but half mv square, and momentum P has the value of m into v. So now if you multiply m in both numerator and denominator of the expression of kinetic energy, then you will find that it is half m square v square by m. So it will be half of mv whole square by m. So it is nothing but 1 by 2m p square. So from this expression I can say that T is nothing but a function of P. So kinetic energy is a function of momentum. So from this expression what I can say that if operator A start commute to the function of A, so the commutation value will be 0. So over here without any calculation I can say that 0 will be your answer. Clear? Fine. Now this expression I have already discussed. So this has been asked in December 2012. So it is x px square. So it is nothing but compared to this expression a b to the power n. So I can write it n b to the power n minus 1. I have already discussed this formula in my previous class. A commute to b. So in this way I can say that it is 2 px to ps to the power 2 minus 1 x px. So it is 2 px and x px has a value ih cross. Once it has a value of ih cross, so what will be your answer? Your answer is 2 ih cross px. 2 ih cross px. This one, option number D. Fine. So that's all for today. We had solved so many questions in this lecture. So I think this will be much helpful for you. And now from my next class we will just learn about the operators. We have already discussed some of the operators, but some operators were left, like your angular momentum operator. Angular momentum operator, there was two angular momentum operator. One is your spin angular momentum operator, another is your orbital angular momentum operator, and there is another important factor which is called the Hermitian operator. Okay, Hermitian operator. So we will discuss about that in the next lecture. So lecture number 5 will be based on these operators. And after completing lecture number 5, we will now move on to the different systems, like your particle in a box, particle in a ring. Then we will go into the SHO, simple harmonic oscillator, and then hydrogen atom. Up to this our basic quantum mechanics will be complete. So after that we will move on to some other topic. So thank you. Happy learning.